Here we are, starting the day cycling out of Keswick. Beautiful downtown Keswick on a lovely day with the mountains above us, which of course we're going to have to climb over, more or less. Famous pencil museum here, where everyone goes on a wet day in the Lake District, which we've been very lucky to avoid. They're lovely views when you're not contemplating cycling over them, but on a lovely day like this, it's very beautiful. With some wind turbines over there, barely moving because there's not a lot of wind at the moment. That's the first of many little climbs done. There's now consistently 10 miles of climbing to go. Halfway up the morning's climbing, really. Still a beautiful landscape. The fact that I slow down a lot on hills compared to the other guys my age is quite a disadvantage, really. But I get up those hills all the time. Okay, this is second gear middle chain ring, effectively. I always stay in the middle range for as long as possible because that doesn't use the hub gears, and the hub gears lose me some efficiency, and you want every bit of efficiency you can, because here we go to a steep bit. I'm sure you can't see how steep this is. We come to steep bits. I've dropped into Super Granny, which, as you will notice, is not exactly fast, barely walking pace, but still cycling. And round we go, push, 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 up to the top. Climb. I know there's more to go because this is about mile 10 and we don't stop climbing till mile 15, so I assume we've got to go over that ridge ahead. But suddenly changing geography, out onto a moor, a rolling moor no less. I wonder what that sign, next instruction on our list of instructions, which you will see the top of repeatedly. At Caldbeck 4, turn right, you will cycle just over a mile, take the second turning on the left. Here comes Vic. And I can see probably Paul in the background.
I'm struggling, but
yep, but this is the difficult bit today. So it's going to be a lot easier after this. So as long as he gets over this, we've then got a nice downhill bit and a flat section to pick up time. Yeah. Tornadoes, I think. Actually, that looks like a tornado in an F-16. But I'm no longer an expert in these things. It's very up in the sun, and we're very lucky to see it in the sun. So here we go. It says turn left, Carlisle Woodton. Now I'm going to wait for the guys, and here they come. Landscape, I can see the brew van over there, but I imagine they're a peak too early, because although this is the highest point today, there's another peak to go. Maybe they want to do the point at which we officially leave the Lake District and head down to the beautiful town of Carlisle. Well known for trains, Morag and a flood, I think 4 or 5 years ago. Arriving up to the brew van and the highest spot today. I have no idea what this thing on the left is. Looks like something military, I would think. Maybe Phil knows. Right. I love the way they've got a tablecloth out. But no doilies, you see. It's the lack of doilies. I was just saying, Phil, that there's no doilies. You're not doilies. You haven't got crockery, you know, proper crockery and doilies and mats and things.
The doilies out, but they just blow away.
Oh, shame! Special weighted doilies is what we should have.
Aren't you meant to have a little white apron?
Yeah, but you won't wear the skirt.
I don't get paid for that.
Here's Brian and Paul.
Can we go 1 minute to change your tyres? Good morning. I think that's the climbing over for a while.
There's one more section from the northern lakes, so we've got on windproofs because it's going to get quite cold on the way down, and of course fast. Down to that, I'm afraid, guys, it's about 8 miles continuous downhill. So what we'll do is we'll just go. We're heading towards Carlisle, mile 24. We turn off.
Car cabin.
All right. But if we get to a giveaway or a reason, you know, a big junction, then whoever's at the front stops and we all collect. All right. So don't go through any major junctions or any giveaway signs, because otherwise we're going to get lost. Effectively trying to bypass Carlisle, heading for Hexham, with one of the actually relatively good cycle paths, obviously on the wrong side of the road, but much better than being on the road itself, and at times, as comes along just here, away from the road, which is always a joy, and an anxiety you don't have, because you don't have to worry about mad drivers, which is a good thing. Travel by rail to the woodyard just outside Carlisle, passing the north of Carlisle towards Gretna Green and the Scottish border. North of Carlisle, heading towards Gretna Green, beside the M6. Bit windy, as you can hear, mostly left to right, slightly in front. Not ideal, but we're getting close to Gretna and lunch and Scotland. Arriving in Gretna Green, the border of Scotland, and our lunch stop. Where apparently we will have the opportunity to be photographed next to a Scottish sign with a real Scotsman, a few of whom we have on board. It's on the right hand side. You guys finished lunch already? You're obviously in a big hurry. Okay, off we go.
Halfway there, just about.
Good, good. Here we go, out after lunch in Gretna Green. Okay, Brian, ready to go? Cool. So back onto the road and right.
It's always work in progress, yeah.
It always, yeah, absolutely. But for all of us, but all of us have things, and I have various problems which are quietly there too. Thus, apparently sunny Scotland welcomes us, so we should be very happy about that. Onward, us catching up with the elusive Sue, past Annan on our way towards Lockerbie, actually going to Lockerbie. A mature Australian woman who equals me in eccentricity by cycling in sandals. Afternoon, Sue. I'm just going to hang here and wait till the boys catch up with me. Yeah, I had noticed that, but I was too polite to say so. Unfortunately, I have just videoed this for posterity. Huh? I think this is the small lump, and then it flattens out a bit, and then we get a large lump, but that's not a very big lump compared to the lump we already did at the beginning. So the train is this bit, flattish bit, lump, down, flattish bit, wherever it is we end up, which I can't remember the name of, which is Moffat.
Where is the through up there? Circumnavigate. Glasgow this afternoon.
No, Glasgow's tomorrow.
And the brew is how many miles from the brew?
We don't know.
No.
The thing was at, it's about halfway, isn't it? So it was at 36, 73, 20, so it should be about 56, so it should be within the next 5 miles, somewhere about within the next 5 miles.
Well, we've done over 50.
Yeah, that's right.
We have.
23 to go.
We pass around the site of the famous air tragedy, shall we call it, where someone I knew slightly, Candace's brother, was killed. So a place of some emotional importance. Now we're mostly heading away from the coast where all the flatbeds were, up towards Moffat, with a little bit of a climb at about 65 miles. To look forward to here in Lochmaben to welcome us, but unfortunately the crowds have left due to our late arrival. They were expecting us about midday and we've turned up about 4.
The pumpkin ceremony
That's right,
Okay, right in front of the inevitable Robert the Bruce Memorial. And we're on our way to Moffat. It's about 5 miles to go. At this point you get really interested in whether this is the last significant hill. So you are looking at the terrain to see if anything's threatening us ahead, and I don't think so. So the crest up ahead should be the end of the last significant hill, which according to the contour map is in about the right place. So it's then mostly downhill with small lumps, which will be a great relief, as by this point I'm definitely feeling a bit weary in the legs. And so is Brian, my silent partner, who has weariness in areas we don't wish to mention. In order to avoid the main A roads, we get sent off on little excursions. This one's been through the village or town of Moffat, on what seems to be, I think, the old A road, before they put in a bypass. And we go down the A road, which is much quieter, though as you can see, not in a fine state of repair. And here we go to Moffat, which has been described to me as a large village rather than really a town. As you shall see, the instructions are to cycle up to the mini roundabout at the end of town, the top end of the town, and that should be on the right. Very grand place on the right. State roads generally slightly worse than Blackburn, Lancashire. More consistently patched and horrible, with some very large grubby patches. All right along here though. Look, they've got a floral display. I wonder what that tells us about the town. Oh, in fact, everybody's driving too fast. Ooh, trains. It's a train. The High Street of Moffat. Which somehow has a French feel with this central parking and trees. But as usual, we've arrived just too late for any shops to be open. And we just meander up here. Oh, terrible bloody stuff. Probably unhappy you've left the track now. I'm at number 12. Let's have a mother's meeting. Hold on. Let's have a mother's meeting. Where are the boys? Right, let's have a mother's meeting on the good bits of the day. Ah, crunch, 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 not the roads. But cycling down and looking for your B&B and wondering what wonders it will. Ah, there it is. Oh. Hey guys. We got here. What? Well, he doesn't think he's down here.
Oh, he is.
Well, he's thinking most of these bikes worth a couple of £1,000 a piece. Would you say many of them? Possibly more. So mine's probably the cheapest. Possibly yours is the cheapest.
No, mine's the cheapest.
Yeah, but yours is a renter.
Mine's a renter.
So it's not surprising yours is cheap.
But it gets you.
Absolutely, it does.
So this must be.
That must be seriously expensive.
Seriously expensive.
Full carbon. Amazing, amazing it hasn't ripped those tyres to pieces, isn't it?
And if I got onto it, I wouldn't do any better than.
In the narrowest hotel in Scotland, possibly the world. Star Hotel in Moffat. And I'm videoing the meal this time because it's part of the, this part. I normally only do the stuff on the road. Yeah, very impressive gravel rash, healing beautifully. Oh come on, look happy, sir. It's my video camera. It's my video camera. Filthy joke, I hope. So I'm just videoing dinner. And Sean being, antisocial and hunched over his phone.
Sean's working out. We're looking at hills.
You're looking at the hills. I heard you were trying to slow them down with whiskey today. You're here. Have a seat. Yeah. So I don't get the chance. The only time I can get the fast group is when they're sitting down. You guys, I get quite frequently. The fast group only if they're sitting down. That's the only time. Or that 10 seconds I've got before I'm here and they go and disappear. That's it. They do.
I think you can't be a voice
Oh, come on, try and look happy. That was pretty forced.
I need a haircut.
Do you? No, you need a body transplant.